Hello everyone. Today we'll talk about the solution to the problem minimum string length after removing substrings. This is an introductory problem to a technique or a trick that's often used in problems like this, where you remove some substrings from a string and then concatenate the remaining parts, and in that case some new string that can be removed might appear. Now this is a very easy version because our two strings have no letters in common. And of course it would be a normal extension. You can think about it after solving this problem. What if, for instance, the strings to remove were AB or BC? So in that case the B is common. So maybe for a B we have to decide if we remove it as part of AB or as part of BC. Do we use dynamic programming? Do we use greedy, as in this case with a stack? So that's a nice extension. But this is a simple case. We just want to remove it. And of course the maybe surface level difficulty is that if we have a C here and the next letter is an A, we cannot remove anything. But if the next letter is a B, we can remove a B. And then if next letter is a D, or maybe another block of AB, or maybe a CD or something, then after removing this AB, we can remove this CD. However, it's difficult to modify. Well, in Python strings are immutable, but it's also difficult to modify a data structure by removing something from the middle and concatenating the remaining parts. Essentially only a linked list allows us to do it. So the two approaches are either to not operate on the string as we're given, or maybe maintain pointers over that string, that's also possible, and instead go letter by letter and always have only part of the string on our data structure. And this is the approach that we're going to take with the stack. Or, as I mentioned, maintaining a pointer to the next letter and rewriting letters to be on previous positions whenever we create a whole. But not rewriting all the letters, but just rewriting the letters as we're reading them. So the stack idea is very simple. If we have some prefix of the word on our... So we go letter by letter. So maybe we have some letters E, F, G. And at some point we get AB in our prefix, and it ends after this B. Then we know that we can remove this AB. And then we add something more. Maybe we add a C, we add an A, we add a B, we remove it, we add a D, we remove this CD block. So it's very easy to simulate this process that we have above by just reading letter by letter, because in that case we don't have to remove anything from the middle of the string, but we only remove from the end. And for removal from the end, so removal of the newest elements, a stack is a correct data structure. We can also use a sentinel value, so we can start our string with a hash. In that case, we know that we'll always have another letter, which will be useful when comparing if we can remove the two top letters. And we're going to go through all the characters in the string, throw them on the stack, so append them to the list, because in Python and in most languages, a list or vector data structure operates as a stack by default. And now, what do we want? We want AB or CD. So we check if the first two elements are AB or CD. Of course, you'll notice that A and B are reversed. That's because in the stack, when adding element by element to the stack, this is a way of reversing the order of values. You can imagine that you have letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. So the first letter that we push will be A, but we're looking from the back, so we'll be looking at the top letter as the most recent letter, so the last letter that we've read. So we have to check them in reverse, so this is AB or CD. In that case we can remove that substring, so pop the top two elements from the stack. And that might create, as we remember in this case, another pair that we can remove from the stack, so this should not be an if statement but a while statement. And after that we want to return the length of the string, so we just remove the number of remaining characters. Remember to subtract 1 for our sentinel value. And again, if you want to think about maybe some more difficult cases, consider what if they had different lengths and maybe if they have some letters in common.